Bulubo winitenge abana wo lukika sodutei Mori mumapanyise mudima wase Bulubo winitenge abana wo nonongo sojangamene Mori mumapanyise mudima wase Senga maleya abasangwanyu na nyangwanyu Lo senga pe maleya mabaturu banyu Bande babi jeboko emawana no Bapende babi jelongela mundima wase Bande babi jeboko emawana no Bapende babi jelongela mundima wase Bulubo winitenge abana wo osiwasa bobe Mori mumapanyise mundima wase Setona wako kae Setona wepe mumito muto Setona wako kae Osongele nae Wabiate bomi son kende Di blomdi Osongele na Wabiate bito Son kedi blomdi Osongele nae wabiate bomi son kende di blomdi Osongele na wabiate bito son kedi blomdi Bulubo winitenge abana wo lunongo sojangamene Mori mumapanyise mudima wase Bulubo winitenge abana wo lunongo sojangamene Mori mumapanyise mudima wase
Greater Philadelphia area is organizing the African American International Business Fair and Cameroonian Cultural Center fundraising event for the first time. This event will go from Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 to Saturday, June 18th, 2022, and you are all invited. Special artists invited are Henry Dekongwe,
C'est la vie, la vie
Ange Bognia. Let's not forget about our DJ Manu Killer, and our special host journalist and media entrepreneur, Gwendolyn Fongu. Activities for the week will be business exchanges, site visits, cultural exchanges, sports, and fundraising live event. Come rock the Cameroonian culture with us, and together, let's build a legacy.
to welcome our viewers from the United States and around the world. Welcome to Media to Africa. I'm Marichal Tiano. This is Diaspora Americaine. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Media to Africa. This is your show. This is your talk show, Diaspora Americaine. On this edition of Diaspora Americaine, we'll be talking about cultural event in the United States diaspora. And today, our case study will be focusing on ACP, the Cameroonian Association of Philadelphia and Area. And as you know, we will be talking about their event that is coming up on July 18, 2022, and I will be introducing the chairman of business and marketing all the way from Philadelphia, Mr. Eric Ekobeni. Hi, Mr. Eric, and welcome to Media to Africa.
Thank you very much again, and thank you for having me here.
All right. Besides Mr. Eric, still all the way from Philadelphia, that's the president of ACP organization, Mr. Thomas Famawa. Hi, Mr. Thomas, and welcome to Media to Africa.
Thank you, Marichal, to host us tonight. I'm glad to be part of your show. Thank you again.
Yeah, once again, thank you guys for accepting our invitation. Media 2 is your platform where we are here every Thursday at 9 p.m. with our show called Diaspora Americaine to promote African event and African culture in the United States. So today we are talking about this mega event coming up. This is the first time in Philadelphia area that will be happening starting July 14. So, Mr. Eric, let me start with you. Are you guys ready?
Yes, we are ready. Like the Boy Scout said, you always prepare, right? So I'm a Boy Scout, and then yes, we are always prepared. We are definitely ready. And just a quick correction: the event will actually be held from June 14 to June 18.
June, not July. Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, big time mistake.
That's all
yeah, yeah. June 14, not July. Yeah. Correction. Good catch. All right. So, Mr. President, my apology for that huge mistake. I was thinking about July instead of June, but thanks to Eric that fastly recover it. So right now, where are we? Are we getting ready? Are we there, Mr. President? What's your thought?
Yeah. We are getting closer, as time, you seem to extend more time, but we don't have that it's June. We would like to welcome the Cameroonian diaspora right here in Philadelphia, and we are excited. We are ready. We want to give the best of ourselves for this first event.
Yeah, we know we'll be talking deeply during this 60-minute show. Talking about. Let us start with the event. I see that you guys are bringing about, let me say, 5 artists, because let me start with from top to bottom. I see the DJ is one of the best DJ in the tri-state area, meaning New Jersey, Delaware, and Philadelphia area. That's DJ Manu. And then one of the best MC, that's Gwendoline, and one of the senior journalists all the way from Cameroon, Mr. What's the name again? Mr.
Jean Bruno.
Jean-Bruno Tagno. I mean, my brain is freezing today, Mr. Jean-Bruno Tagno. And now talking about the artists, we have Ange Banya coming all the way still from Cameroon, and the huge, big Henri Di Conga. I mean, you guys have that much money to spend on artists?
No, I will say definitely this is a fundraising for a great cause, right? As we mentioned before, this is to build the very first Cameroonian Cultural Center, and
Okay.
all those superstars that you mentioned, you agree actually to show the support by coming and participating to that special
Oh, they are
event. Then
participant.
yes,
All right,
yes,
nice. Good
and
point.
that is
Good point. Good
definitely a
point.
great contribution from their part.
All right, so the event would be from June 14 to June 18. We will be having a soccer game, cultural event, and a huge gala night will be on Saturday. Okay, now let us talk about the organization itself. What is ACP, Mr. President? What is the meaning? What is
Thank
ACP?
you. Thank you very much. It's very important that we understand what is the Cameroonian Association of Greater Philadelphia area. The Cameroonian Association of Philadelphia was created in 2005 and became a 501c organization in August 2006. And since then, this organization is a 501c already. We are there to sort of like hold each other together and sort of like promote the Cameroonian culture right here in the state of Philadelphia. So that is, if I want to put it that way, that is the Cameroonian Association.
Okay, good. So you guys covering all the Philadelphia area, or you have some member who live like in New York or in any other state?
Great question. We do have members that are a little bit all around the different area, all the way to Dallas. We have members. So it's not limited geographically only in Philadelphia. We have former members who move in different states, but still remain part of member of this association. And we are grateful because that help to extend the network that we are trying to build and make this cultural center a project that is feasible right here in Philadelphia.
Good. Mr. Eric, can you tell us a little bit about the vision of ACPE? What is the vision of this group?
The vision is actually around just to go on what the president said, right? Just to foster awareness around the richness of the Cameroonian culture here in Philadelphia and abroad, and also extend that mission across the U.S. So we want to be a window of the Cameroonian culture in the U.S. So in other words, when we are looking at the point of reference for any Cameroonian culture-related anthem, we want to be that place to go, that organization to go to provide answers. In a short version, that's what ACPE actually represents.
All right, thank you. I'm sure that Mr. President will have something to add about mission and value of ACP.
Yes, the mission, just like Eric just stated initially, is we trying to foster this richness of the Cameroonian heritage and the contribution and the impact of immigrant, Cameroon immigrant right here in the American life and around the world. That is the first thing that we're trying to do. And at the same time, to achieve that mission, we want to build a cultural center and showcase what the Cameroonian culture is to the rest of the world. And also sell our culture, because I believe we have a rich, resourceful, and valuable culture that we have to share it with the rest of the world. And that is why that mission statement is so dearly in our heart. And by establishing this cultural center, it becomes the home of all Cameroonians in US. And also, it will help to promote the Cameroonian culture. And in that cultural center, education will be also one of the centerpiece of this cultural center. And besides that, you also help to bring all the different community together so that we can live a better life, if I have to put it that way.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, you answer what was to be my next question, but I will still ask it to Mr. Eric about. We know this event is to build up that cultural center, but I mean, how was the decision made? Why a cultural center? Why?
So why the cultural center? That is a very good question here. What I will say is that first of all, uh, uh, we we found out there is a need of a growing Cameroonian community in Philadelphia. And when we say Philadelphia, we have to keep in mind we are actually talking about the three states, right? It's not just Philadelphia City, but we are talking about Delaware, we are talking about New Jersey, we we even talk about Maryland. So there is that need, and the cultural center came about to fill that need. You also we do have the sense that the cultural center, as I mentioned before, will be that perfect window into the Cameroonian culture, right here in the U.S. When you come to the U.S. and specifically to Philadelphia, you will see places where you can actually discover what's actually going on in other part of the world, right? But we don't have a similar place that will showcase the Cameroonian culture. And we know Philadelphia is one of the cultural hub around the world. Therefore, it was just about time to have some sort of representation of Cameroon here in Philadelphia, one of the greatest city in the world. And that's how the DRJ came about, to build a cultural center in the U.S. And we chose Philadelphia for that purpose.
All right, cool. I mean, let's talk about. I know the goal is to build that cultural center, but let's talk about the event itself, the Saturday 18 event. I mean, I said earlier, you guys have like mega star coming up. I mean, what are the guest expectation? What type of event will we have that Saturday night? I mean, can you give a little description of what we will be expecting? Anyone?
Yes, if I have
Sure.
to take the if I have to take the floor, I will say this. This is our first event, and we put our expectation is really high, and for that reason, we have about close to 30 to 35 guests coming from Cameroon. In addition to that, we want to reach out to all the Cameroonian in the US and also around the world if we have their contact. And for that event himself, one of the things that we want to accomplish is a cultural center is a community project. And we prioritize and we put community ahead of everything. So having more communities coming in and participated to this will show really how important it is for the rest of Cameroonian living in US. That is the first thing. Building a network that will be sustainable and help Cameroonian in Philadelphia, as well as those that are in US, to really have a point where they can sort of like look and say, this is my identity, this is where I belong. And for that event, we want to show that we Cameroonian, we have a certain identity, and we want to start to showcase that on that event before we can even move forward into the Cameroonian Cultural Center. So if I have to summarize it, it's going to be a big event. We are inviting all the communities, Cameroonian communities around Philadelphia and also in different states. Please come join us. You will not regret. This is a groundbreaking project, and we're going to make history.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Mr. Eric, let's say I'm a Lambda citizen living in DC area, Metro. What would be my motivation to participate at that event on July 18?
Oh, great. And I will just go from what the president said, right? This is the cultural center is a community center, right? So it's not limited to the Cameroonian community. And because we want to showcase the Cameroonian culture, we invite actually all the people around the US, not just in Philadelphia. So someone in DC or anywhere else who has the love for culture, who has the love for community, will certainly find the interest in coming to that event. Plus, you mentioned earlier, we have some big superstar coming. That means if you are a fan of good music, of great music, you will certainly will love to join. And don't forget, Cameroon is a land of great food, and we cannot have a fundraising event in a night such as that one without great food. So if you love great food, you want to have that taste from the Cameroonian dishes, it's definitely the place to be.
Yeah, definitely. So I agree with you. Even if you are not part of, if you don't want to be part of the cultural center project, I mean, you guys have megastar that people can come to meet and greet and gather together with those stars. You know, they don't live in the U.S. and we have Henry Di Congue that will be on board, Ange Bania all the way from Cameroon. If I recall correctly, she was not here for the past 15 to 20 years, maybe it's the first time even, I'm not sure. We have Jean-Bruno Tagno, which is a great journalist. So, I mean, guess what? After having a long period of COVID where we stay home for forever, this is a great time to go out and have some fun while celebrating and promoting our own culture. Let's go back to the cultural center. I know you guys talked about the service earlier, but I would like you guys to emphasize on what really will be serving at the service at the cultural center. Let's say, yes, we're going to have a building. I mean, how is it going to be used? Because people would like to understand that before they should be able to give their money during the fundraising.
Sure, it makes total sense to kind of get a little bit into what somebody can actually find in the cultural center, right? So again, a cultural center will be that place where you will be able to discover Cameroon without traveling to Cameroon, right? So in order to do that, the cultural center will have an exposition room, some sort of museum where we will showcase all aspects of the Cameroonian culture. I am talking about the food culture, the sport culture, the linguistic culture. Uh, you name it, we will be able to showcase the musical culture, the theatrical culture, right? So we will have that exposition room to showcase all those aspects of the Cameroonian culture. Then we will also have training rooms. Remember, the president talk about education, right? Throughout those training rooms, people will be able, to grasp things related to the Cameroonian culture. So, and not just the Cameroonian culture, but you're also training on things that will benefit the citizen of the U.S. here, right? It could be health related or social related. We will have all those type of training there. Yamon, the other room that we will have a conference room. And of course, the Cameroonian Cultural Center will be the host of a huge ballroom. We know how the African and other community like to party or for any type of event. You will have the opportunity to come and rent the ballroom for that purpose. In addition to that, I talk about the Cameroonian food. What a Cameroonian cultural center without a restaurant there. So the Cameroonian Cultural Center will have a restaurant which will showcase the Cameroonian dishes, right? So uh, beside that, we want people to come and visit the Cameroonian Cultural Center and leave with some sort of souvenir. Therefore, we will have a gift shop included into the cultural center. And finally, we know our community is growing. We have a lot of children, and other community are growing. They have a lot of children. What a community center without a playgroup? Therefore, we will have a playground for children within that cultural center. This is just to give you an idea of what type of services you will be able to get through the Cameroonian Cultural Center.
Sure. Mr. President, you want to make it more spicy?
I would just add that, look, I think he covered pretty much everything that we envision to have in that cultural center. However, I want you to understand this. In Maryland, maybe you have the luxury of having a variety of Cameroonian restaurants. However, in Philadelphia, I doubt if there is one. So this is a great place to really show that art that we possess. Food, Cameroonian, they know how to cook. And I believe that a restaurant, 5-star restaurant, that is how we put it, will showcase what we can do in terms of our culture. And this is very important. And second, the ballroom, we do understand that we like festivities. And people rent. So this hall will also be able to, or the cultural center, if I have to put it that way, this cultural center, by providing those services, really will be sustainable in a long period of time. We want to make sure that whatever we are implementing in that center will take care of himself. And I believe if I just want to put it, education is very, very important. When it comes to showcase what you know, and the more knowledge you acquire, the better it is for you as a person in any domain. So with the cultural center, there won't be any difference. I want to really bring the guests to we were even thinking about how we can even teach our guests some of the dishes that we do cook in Cameroon. And this, through the education that we envision to have in that cultural center, we'll be able to cover some of those aspects. I believe my chair really covers pretty much everything that we will have in that center.
Thank you. So the goal actually is to have a multidisciplinary cultural center with restaurant, hall, playground for kids, and I mean even place to learn about African culture, museum, and so on. So guys, this is a this is an event where we are inviting all of you viewer, even those who are going to be watching this later. We are inviting you to be in Philly in June 18 to support this great cause. Okay, let us talk about the event again. How about the price and what does it come with? Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sorry. I was leaving the floor to the president. You know, when you go somewhere with the president, you have to step back a little bit, right? So, talking about the price, right? First of all, the event will be held at the DoubleTree Hotel nearby the airport, right? So, the single ticket entrance will be at $150, and with a table of 10 you will receive a 15% discount. So instead of having 1,500 for a table of 10, you will actually have to pay $1,250 again, giving you those $250 discount. But the most important thing here is the idea behind it, right? Again, this is a fundraising, and therefore we all want to come and show our support for this great cause, for this great cultural event, to make sure that Cameroon is well represented in the US through its culture, through that cultural center. And again, if you want more information about ticket, please feel free to visit ticketlib.com, where you can purchase your ticket online without any hassle.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask where to find the ticket. I mean, if you can see on the flyer that will be coming up on the screen soon, you will see the website where you can purchase flyer. But do you have any additional like physical place in Philadelphia where ticket can be purchased if somebody does not want to go online?
Yeah, that is a good point. Although it will be great for people to go online, because then they don't have to wait. They don't have to make sure that they get in contact with someone else. If for any reason you still cannot get your ticket online, therefore we have several phone number that you can contact, right? One of them being the 267-902-8340, which should probably display at the bottom of the screen there. And the other phone number will be the 301 222 3229. Beside that, you can also shoot an email to us, and we will make sure to reach back to you if you need a ticket. And that email will be info@acpephilly.org. Again, it's info@acpephilly.org. Give us a message, and someone will get back to you.
All right. Thank you for those information. Now let's go back to the 150. Okay, what does it include? Do we have food? Do we have drink? Or after paying 150, you have to buy drink and food when you are inside? I know we already have those mega artists that we'll be hanging out with. But does it come with any beverage or food?
Certainly, the price actually will give you access, first of all, like you mentioned, to all those great artists. You will have to enjoy the great music from those artists, but in addition to that, you will have to enjoy the food with no limitation, right? And you will have some light beverage coming with the $150. but again, the most important thing, and I will never stress that enough, is the fact that we need to keep in mind the Cameroonian Cultural Center needs your help to be built, to be to be a reality. Now we are looking at it as a dream, but guess what? If we all decide to come together, that dream will become reality pretty soon. Thank you.
No, I was just emphasizing on that, so people should be aware if, for example, dinner will be served, so that maybe, if not, maybe they can eat home before they come. And if dinner will be served there, they will feel like, okay, oh, I'll get my dinner over there. So we just wanted to be clear and give the right info and share the right information with our viewer and our potential guests. Mr. President?
Oh, certainly. Make sure to make some room in your belly, because again, you will need all that room to enjoy the delicious Cameroonian dishes.
All right. Thank you, dear viewer, for watching Media to Africa, Diaspora Americaine. We'll be taking a break, and I will invite you to watch this video made from one of our co-workers from Douala, Marinette Ngimfak. She's actually the boss, the chairman of communication of Media to Africa from Douala. So let us go ahead, and then we're going to do some advert as well. Thank you.
Griller de grandes quantités de viande en entier, sans risque de les brûler. Sécher ces denrées alimentaires de jour comme de nuit pour éviter leur décomposition. Réutiliser les huiles de vidange sans mettre en danger son moteur grâce à un système de purification fait à base de pouzzolane. Voilà entre autres quelques innovations scientifiques des étudiants de l'Institut universitaire de technologie, en abrégé IUT, de Douala. Des projets capables de changer en bien le quotidien des citoyens camerounais. Dans ce stand de la filière génie thermique et énergie, Karine Donfac, l'une des exposants, a assuré qu'avec cette couveuse d'œufs, on peut faire éclore environ 200% en un mois sans crainte de coupure d'électricité.
En cas de coupure de lumière, on alimente avec les plaques solaires pour conserver la température en fait. Parce que si la température diminue trop, les œufs se gâtent.
Autre innovation, cet hydrodistillateur pouvant extraire les huiles essentielles des plantes pour des besoins cosmétiques. Yédé, étudiant-chercheur, a déjà fait une première expérience.
Nous avons déjà eu à extraire l'huile d'eucalyptus, l'huile de citronnelle. Cette huile a été utilisée dans le stand suivant là-bas pour fabriquer les pommades et les baumes qui ont déjà été commercialisés.
Au milieu de ces machines, un séchoir hybride à usage domestique pour la conservation durable des denrées alimentaires et autres produits.
Qui nous permet en fait de sécher, donc c'est la conservation de nos aliments pour un usage ultérieur au contact des rayons solaires. Cette couche noire permet de capter la chaleur issue du rayonnement qui sera transmise à l'intérieur du séchoir.
Dans le stand de la filière génie civil, les visiteurs ont eu le plaisir de découvrir les différents matériaux tels que la pouzzolane, capable de résoudre les problèmes dans le domaine de la santé, de la construction et vital pour l'écologie.
On va prendre cette roche puis on va sécher. Sécher, donc, veut dire passer à l'étuve. L'étuve sur une machine, à environ 105 degrés. Ensuite, on va concasser puis tamiser pour obtenir les poudres de scorie volcanique. Au fur et à mesure qu'on augmente la quantité de polymère dans les tubes à essai, on constate que l'huile devient de plus en plus claire jusqu'à obtenir ceci, qui est l'huile de vidange de départ.
Tous ces projets scientifiques ont été présentés en marge du colloque portant sur les innovations scientifiques et technologiques, catalyseurs de croissance et de développement durable, organisé par le laboratoire de technologie des sciences appliquées de l'IUT de Douala. Chercheurs, praticiens, entreprises, professionnels de l'industrie et universitaires venant du Canada, du Maroc et des différentes régions du Cameroun ont partagé leurs expériences et créé une plateforme pour favoriser l'interaction et la co-construction des projets scientifiques pour une croissance économique durable au Cameroun. Des récompenses ont été attribuées aux filières ayant le plus impressionné par le fruit de leur recherche. Le génie civil de l'IUT de Douala occupe la 2e place. Sur le piédestal, le docteur Chaya de l'IUT Futsu Victor de Banjoun, qui a remporté le meilleur prix à travers son application qui améliore la productivité des entreprises industrielles.
Je suis honorée d'avoir reçu le premier prix de l'atelier ingénierie et environnement grâce à mes travaux portant sur l'amélioration de la disponibilité des équipements de production industrielle par l'application du pronostic industriel, pour lequel nous avons développé un algorithme intelligent capable de prédire à la fois les phénomènes d'usure des vis, d'encrassement des échangeurs et de colmatage des filtres, tout en intégrant les futures actions de maintenance à la production.
Au terme des travaux, des recommandations ont été adoptées, entre autres
la mutualisation du plateau technique dans les universités camerounaises, mutualisation également de ressources. Et la deuxième recommandation générale est le cadre de valorisation et de transfert des technologies suite à ces innovations.
Mettre sur le marché camerounais une main-d'œuvre qualifiée à travers la professionnalisation des enseignements. Telle est la nouvelle approche de formation que le Cameroun a adoptée dans l'ensemble des universités et instituts universitaires de technologie.
Nos étudiants qui sont formés dans ce cadre-là, avec ces rencontres clés, et le centre d'employabilité qui est désormais installé à l'université de Douala, c'est du pain béni pour les entreprises camerounaises, c'est-à-dire un personnel qualifié, prêt à être utilisé directement.
À l'heure actuelle où le monde entier tombe vers une crise d'employabilité, il devient capital de ne plus former les ingénieurs diplômés, mais des hommes capables d'entreprendre dans un environnement où le salaire seul ne suffit plus.
Association of Greater Philadelphia Area is organizing the African American International Business Fair and Cameroonian Cultural Center fundraising event for the first time. This event will go from Tuesday, June 14th, 2022 to Saturday, June 18th, 2022, and you are all invited. Special artists invited are Henry Dekongwe,
C'est la vie, la vie.
Ange Bagnia. Let's not forget about our DJ Manu Killer, and our special host journalist and media entrepreneur, Gwendolyn Fongu. Activities for the week will be business exchanges, site visits, cultural exchanges, sports, and fundraising live event. Come rock the Cameroonian culture with us, and together, let's build a legacy.
Thanks to Marinette Ngimfak for that file. We can see how slowly and surely Africa is moving towards a very good direction. So now let us talk about another event. It's coming up June 11, African American Gala Night by our brother Maurice. That will be hosted at the Hampton Conference Center. I invite everybody to be there to show love and support to that our brother. It's again Saturday, June 11, African American Gala Night with our brother Mo from Benin. All right, let's come back to our guest, Mr. Chairman, Mr. President. You guys saw that video, that file from Douala, Cameroon. Any take on this?
Yes, certainly. You know, it's watching such video give us great hope and also bring a lot of joy within us, right? To look back home and see that things are moving toward the right direction, and even more so, young folks are being involved and are doing great things, because I was really personally impressed to see that young folks were doing, you know, the things that will take us or take Cameroon and Africa in general to the next step.
Mr. President?
Yes, you know, when you invest in the young generation, you go wrong. And I'm impressed to see that all these young Cameroonian have the idea to sort of like start to put together really what we can showcase to the rest of the world. Because we have to always remember that when you look at Africa and you want to see what we have offered to the rest of the world, you can count that on your hand. So looking at the generation, moving the trend and showing that, hey, we can also maybe one of these days be a industrialized country is good.
All right, let's go back to the first giant event in Philadelphia area coming up Saturday, June 18. Can we talk about the media coverage? Is there going to be any media? Because this event is during 3 days, right? 14, yeah. From the 14th to the 18th, right? It's like 4 days, right? 5 days.
Yes, 4 days.
Okay,
yes.
yeah. Can we go through the schedule and then talk about the media coverage? What else will be
Certainly.
happening beside Gala Night?
Yes, and as we saw on the title, the event is actually a dual event. Beside the fundraising, we also have a business event, right? So the business event will actually cover will take place from June 15 through June 17, and that business event will see the visit of a delegation from Cameroon. Of about so far we have about 41 people, businessmen, businesswomen, as well as a 3 dozen mayors coming from different cities in Cameroon. And this is the place to remind our viewer that Philadelphia is a sister city of Douala, just to show the great relationship that Cameroon and the U.S. have. So those businessmen and women coming to Philadelphia will have in their pocket, some project or some idea, and they will exchange with the counterpart here in the U.S. So we also have several businesses in the U.S. that will partner with those coming from Cameroon to just see how they can build together, right? And that will involve then from the 15th to the 17th a business round table and also visitation of some company, as well as visitation of Philadelphia officials, right? The city hall in Philadelphia, as well as a visitation of the city capital in Harrisburg, where the delegation will go and meet with some folks there, like the Secretary of Agriculture, if we can confirm that part of the plan. As I mentioned, the visitation of some businesses, as well as on Thursday, we will take that delegation down to the port of Philadelphia. Again, Philadelphia being that big hub, it would be great for the Cameroonian delegation to see how they can build, that business relationship with the folks in Philadelphia. And the Port Authority is definitely one of the key organization to meet during that time. Again, this is in a nutshell what that delegation will do during the business event of those 3 days.
Wow, that's a busy week, very busy week. So the business fair roundtable will be hosted where? Still at the Hilton Hotel or somewhere else?
It will still be at the Hilton Hotel. So pretty much all the event will be at the Hilton Hotel, except when there is a site to visit. Then in that situation, the delegation will move around the city in order to sort of like see those, carry those visits.
Mr. President, you was telling me offline about the soccer game. I'm not sure if you don't want to mention it here.
No, we want to mention it here because soccer is probably one of the element that bring all the communities, even those who have their differences, all together. And you can tell, even back in Cameroon, I remember as a teenager when Cameroon used to even just winning a game, you find yourself even in the house of your neighbor that probably you don't greet sometime. And I think sport and soccer, especially for Cameroonian, is so important. And on Saturday in the morning, we would like to really have a soccer little tournament. We don't want to exhaust our partners, but just have these activities will bring us together so that at least, we can sort of like bundle before the main event that will be in the evening. And talking about the media, we're going to cover it. We reached out to Equinox, and they were very excited to cover the event. And even the owner of that channel, he really saw into this project a big potential, and he want to really see how they can support this event from the beginning to the end, and which is huge because as a non-profit organization, we do not have the fund to really do a media coverage of that magnitude. And second, the delegation that is coming from Cameroon will also have, I believe it's Canal 2. So they will also be there to cover this. So we have two major media. And Equinox, immediately the coverage, as soon as the coverage will be done right here, in the morning in Cameroon, that event will be through their media. So I just want to invite people so that they be prepared. Also, if they have to answer some of those questions coming from the media, it will be also great. Back home, they will also have the opportunity to be seen.
Yeah, and beside Equinox and Canal 2, you also have Media 2 Africa, which is a partner of the event.
That is correct. Thank you. Yeah. And for the great support that we're getting from Media 2, we really appreciate that. And you step forward and putting all this together. And we really appreciate it. And hopefully, we will want to continue our partnership with Media 2, because even the first fundraising event, who never, for some health issues, we couldn't have that event, Media 2 really support us during that preparation. And we're always grateful for that.
Yeah, thank you. This is an interactive show, so let me take time to read some online comment for those on our Facebook page. I would like to thank Mr. Sinze Romaric, who pasted the link to buy ticket. He said you can buy ticket through the link. Mr. Tommy Boza, who said, my people, I am in Philadelphia bound on June 18, just couple hour driving to have fun. Again, Romari, who came back and said you can also make donation through our official website. Thank you. Olivier Chatat, salut. Toute la famille Média 2, good job. Ilan Gongan, great job by those students, and congratulations to Media 2 for sharing their achievement. All right. So now let's go back to the project, the Cultural Center project. Mr. Chairman, Can we talk about the business project of that cultural center?
Yes, it took a long time, right, to put together the business plan, and of course, you will understand that for a project of that magnitude, it will be it was necessary to take as much time as we could to make sure that we have a good finished product. A product. So, with the business plan, this project. Is about $5 million project, right? And we definitely from a revenue standpoint, our business plan include revenue from a donation, right? Revenue from investor, but also we do have in the plan revenue like the president mentioned from all the facility within the cultural center between renting the ballroom and so on. The great news here from our analysis on the business plan is that we should be uh, back to our investment fund after 3 years. What that means, just to put it in a simple word, is that after 3 years we should actually generate the $5 million that we invested to build that cultural center, and those $5 million will be 3 million to actually build the cultural center, 1 million as the capital fund, and then we have another $1 million for the operation. Again, after 3 years, we expect to actually get back to that 5 million investment fund, which is a great news, and that is truly possible because of where we decided to build the cultural center. Again, Philadelphia is, for those who don't know, is definitely one of the greatest cultural city in the world. And at some point, if I'm not mistaken here, at some point and not too long ago, Philadelphia was actually ranked third in the world in terms of the cultural city, behind Paris in France and Tokyo in Japan, which were the first and the second, and Philadelphia came third. Just to show that this decision of building the cultural center in Philadelphia didn't come lightly, right? It was actually the result of a very deep analysis of the different places across the US where we can actually have that cultural center built. And, and Philadelphia presented one of the best case scenario for that cultural center.
Thank you.
Yes, I will just add a little bit,
yeah, sure.
if you permit. Just a little bit in addition to what the chair just said. It's very important that we understand that the Cameroonian Cultural Center in Philadelphia, we pondered upon it and we look at the different opportunities that the city offers. First of all, we could have built this center in Atlanta, where there are so many Cameroonians. We could have done it in Maryland, where I would say is Cameroon number 2. But we didn't. Why? Because Philadelphia, first of all, is a sister city of Douala. That is the first thing. And second, for those who do not know, there is a African Town project right here in Philadelphia. And there is a African Cultural Center project right here in Philadelphia. It's about 16 million. So that project already had 3 million committed by the state of Philadelphia. And third, we have one of the most renowned The most known person who lives in Philadelphia is our fellow Cameroonian, Joel Embi. We know that although he's not on board yet, he's a superstar. We understand that. They don't take it lightly to put their name behind a project. They need to really invest and look, investigate, and make sure that these people are real before they put their hand behind it. With all that being said, the time, the opportunity is right here in Philadelphia. And using all that resources that is already here, it will be great. And one of the things that I will want to mention right here, our project benefit a grant of $15,000 from Philadelphia community designer to do a study of feasibility. My members supported this project. Pretty much 95% of my members contributed at least $850 for this project. It means that the whole community understands the impact of this, and it is very important. You cannot go to ask people to fund a project when you yourself, you haven't done anything. And that is why I'm always grateful to my members who have been supporting this project from the get-go. And I have a good team of members who have been working days after days, after hours to make this a reality. I'm so grateful for that. Because of these people, I know we will be able to achieve this goal, and we will be able to put a cultural center in Philadelphia.
Thank you, Mr. President. We are reaching the top of the hour, but before I get you guys loose, I will give a word of ending word to Mr. Chairman, and then I will conclude with you, Mr. President, as we still have 2 minutes to go. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, thank you very much, first of all, for having us tonight. And I cannot be more grateful for that. I just want again to reiterate that all people across the U.S. Invited to join us during that week of the 14th through the 18th with the big gala night on the 18th at the DoubleTree Hotel by the airport. Come join us, support this great cause. And even if you're not able to join us, make sure that you show your support to that great cause. And you can certainly do that several ways. You can send us a check at the, I will give you the address at the PO Box 20515, Philadelphia, PA 19138. Or you can also do a wire transfer to Bank of America at the account number 38301552897. Again, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody at the DoubleTree Hotel during that time. Let's have fun. Let's support the Cameroonian Cultural Center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Eric. Mr. President?
Yeah, I will say thank you again for the opportunity to invite us to invite us on media to Africa. Yes, it's the support that you guys have been giving us is tremendous, and we truly appreciate that. And to all the communities, to all those who are listening to us at this time, this project belongs to you. This project is we, Cameroonian. And for that reason, we are asking you guys to come in to support physically, to support with your network, to also support financially. This is we will make a difference. We will change the life of many Cameroonians coming right here in the city of Philadelphia and in the US as well, because there's nothing that is more important than the resources that you can get. There's nothing that you can get more than the education. If you invest in the education for anybody, you will never go wrong. And I truly believe that through this cultural center, we will be able to establish ourselves and also have an identity right here in the city of Philadelphia, which is a huge city with all this museum. Philadelphia probably had more than 30 museums. And it's so important that we fit into this setting and really showcase what we can do. And I really want all this, the community, to really come in to support this project. Please, you can also go on our website. There is a donation button there, www.acpephilly.org. And the donation, you can hit the donation button, and it's so simple. You can also donate to us through that channel. And again, thank you very much, Media 2, for this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. President. Dear viewer, thank you. If you are still doubting, definitely we want you to be in Philadelphia on June 18. I will be there myself to celebrate, because this is a project to celebrate building a cultural center, a Cameroonian cultural center in Philadelphia. So definitely that's a great cause, and we need to be there to support. So I'm confirming that I will be there live that Saturday. Again, another event on Saturday, June 11, we have the African American Gala Night by Mo. To end the year, we also have the 7th edition of African Award coming up. It will be Friday, November 25th at the prestigious hall of Martin Crosswick in Greenbelt. That's in Maryland. So again, the 7th edition of African Award is coming up Friday, November 25th at the Camelot. Again, thank you so much for watching this show tonight. Our light engineer was Caroline Futso, cameraman Alain Chamo, the director of information is Dr. Jean-Marie Watonsi, director of production Honoré Fomokon. The producer tonight is my brother and friend Lati, Jules Kamfoud Lati, and I am your humble servitor, Maréchal Tiano. See you next Thursday. Bye-bye.
Une essence, un cri, une douleur, un bruit, un cœur très doux, ami, un cœur qui bat la vie. Je voudrais m'arrêter sur ce bonheur qui m'est donné. Cette force jaillit de sa fragilité, finit par de m'étonner. Balayer, 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 c'est ma détresse où elle est. Tout paraît beau, tout paraît léger, comme si le monde avait changé. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. Elle est bien la divine amie, nous des visages et nous souris. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. Elle est bien la divine amie, nous des visages et nous souris. Une caresse, une joie, un sourire, une voix, une main tremblante et moi, une âme qui vit de toi. Je voudrais dire merci pour ce moment qui me grandit. C'est comme si je n'étais jamais né. Avant cet enfant nouveau-né, balayer, balayer, balayer les blessures de mon passé. Tout paraît beau, tout paraît léger, comme si le monde allait changer. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. C'est du mystère, de la magie. Je me sens père, ça me ravit. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. Elle est bien la divine amie, me donne des ailes et des envies. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. Elle est bien la divine amie, nous des visages et nous souris. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. Elle est bien la divine amie, nous des visages et nous souris. C'est la vie, la vie, la vie, oh, la vie. C'est